Hey, PixelSashay here again with the beat process, and this is where I show you behind the scenes of how I create my instrumentals and give you a breakdown of how I layer, blend, and create different sounds and tones inside of Reason. So the instrumental that I will be showing you today is a smooth club R&B track titled Feeling You, and just remember to check out my website PixelSashay.com if you are interested in this instrumental or if you're just looking for more instrumentals in general. So let's jump right in. So first up, we have an open hi-hat. Then we have a closed hi-hat, and what you'll see throughout some of my instrumentals is that I usually have things color coded so that I will know where everything is. So over here in the verses you can see it's one color and then the chorus is another color, and that's basically just to let me know that I've pretty much switched up the pattern somewhere along the line, so it's just easier, to visually see what's going on within the instrumental. So the hi-hat and the verses sound like this. And then in the chorus, the hi-hat sounds like this. Simple stuff, really. Then we have the snare rolls. And again, the same thing applies. The different colors just means that the pattern, is switched up somewhere along the line. So in the intro and the chorus, we have this. And then in the verses, we have this. Now, just going back here to the snare roll in the intro, and also this also plays throughout the chorus, you will see that I have pitch bend going on, and this is something that I usually do a lot of. I use a lot of pitch bend in my instrumentals to add some excitement and variation. So I'm just going to play it back quickly and let you hear it without the pitch bend. Oh god, that's just so boring. But add a bit of pitch bend and this is what we get. A million times better, right? just adds variation, and that's something that I do a lot of, just adding pitch bend sometimes to basically hype things up and just, as I said, put some excitement in there. Anyways, moving on, we have clap 2. And again, that's also like a transitioning type clap, if you want to call it that. And then we have clap 1. And then in the chorus we have this. Alright, just that double clap really is the only difference between the two. Then just this simple kick. Up next we have a kick slide. Now what you'll see down here is that I have a bit of sound effects and stuff that basically these are just really all for adding a little bit of hype and also to, I guess you can say, add a bit of essence to the instrumental, and also mainly these are in here as transitioning effects, just to let you know, well, the instrumental is building up and it's, going from one section to the other. So this is the kick slide here, and then we have this fox right here. And then we have chimes. And then a gated rise. And we have a clock. And then now we're on to like the pad. And this pad right here, I would say pretty much laid the foundation for this instrumental. You know, it gave the instrumental that warm, smooth, you know, feel. It's very sensual, and you know, I just like it a lot. And for me, this is what really makes the instrumental what it is, you know, just that nice smooth pad. Then we have a synth over here. You know, that just sounds very mystical. It has like a glistening effect to it. I don't know, just it sounds glissy to me, if that is even a word. Well, it is a word because I just made it up if it isn't a word, but anyways, continuing. Then we have lead 1. And basically all that I did here was I pretty much just copied the same pattern here from the synth and pasted it onto the lead, and then combined the two of those together. So together they sound like this. You know, it all really just adds a bit of body to the instrumental, you know, when they're added like that. Next up we have lead 2. And again, there is a bit of pitch bend going on as well. And that's just to add, as I said, you know, some hype, some excitement, you know, variation. Now, what I'll say here quickly, as you can see here, the instrumental is a build-up because verse 1 is pretty sparse. There isn't a whole lot going on here because, as you can see, I have the synth and the lead muted, but then in verse 2 I have the pad, the synth, and the lead. You know, they're all playing. Then in verse 3 we have everything playing plus an additional lead. So, you know, it's just going from a kind of quiet beginning, you know, it just progresses into something a little bit more, you know, full towards the end, just to build up basically. And that is something that I do in some of my instrumentals, you know. Okay, up next we have lead 3, which, as you can see, again, I did a similar thing to the chorus like I did with the verses. So in the first chorus, you know, we don't have anything going on. We don't have a lead, neither do we have the poly playing inside of that first chorus, but in the second and the third chorus you can see that, you know, I have them playing. So lead 3 sounds like this. And as you can hear, that sounds a bit aggressive and sticks out there in your face a little bit. However, coming down here to the poly, what I did was I copied that same pattern into the poly, and then I combined the two, and the poly sounds like this. Alright, so that isn't as, I mean, that's still harsh, but it isn't as harsh as lead 3. But, you know, when played together, they complement each other. You know, so it gives the instrumental a bit of an aggressive feel, yet, you know, it still has that smoothness about it. So when they're combined and played together, this is how they sound. You know, they both just complement each other really. Alright, next up we have, you know, just this brass rise. And we have this trance lead. Alright, there's also a bit of a pitch bend going on there, not too much, but just a little bit. What I like about this instrument here is that, you know, it's not totally in your face, you know, it's kind of acting like, you know, just like a kind of pad in the background, you know, just to fill out the instrumental really. And, you know, it just adds a warmth to the instrumental to me. You know, I really like that a lot. It didn't stick out right in your face, but, you know, it's in the background, you can hear it, but it's not in your face. Right, next we have this dance lead. Alright, and with this dance lead, it's very simple. It kind of acts like a bass, but you know, very simple stuff really. And then now we're on to the 808s. Right, so in the verses I have just a simple 808 kick. You know, nothing too special with those. You know, I just left it simple in the verses. You know, I didn't want to clutter the verses too much with anything really. Next up we have, right, the other 808s now, and these are for the chorus. So the first one sounds like this. Right, so that sounds a little bit aggressive, and this 808 is mainly in the mid-range, which is okay for me because I added another 808 which is mostly just low end, and this is how that sounds. So now when played together, they sound like this. Right, and you know, the end result is one that I like. It's, you know, it's kind of aggressive, but it has its place in the track. So that's pretty much it for Feeling You. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Leave me a comment. If you have any questions, you can also send me an email at info@PixelSashay.com. And yeah, visit the website PixelSashay.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
PixelSashay in your ears.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. So here we go. So this here is basically just an arpeggiated loop. And then, you know, just a simple brass chord. And I layered that brass with another brass, you know, like an octave down, just a different tone altogether.